You know that the Boston Celtics are the reigning NBA champions, right? And that final MVP honors went to Jaylen Brown, right? Well, Brown had an interesting shirt on that seemed to be aimed at moi while holding the MVP trophy, preparing for the parade. Take a look at this, y'all.
How we feeling, JB?
Can't complain.
You ready? You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
That shirt, state your sources. He was referring to comments I made stating an anonymous source that told me Brown's quote-unquote attitude was hurting his marketability. Even though I didn't say about attitude, I said he's not likable in some people's eyes. That's what I specifically said. No problem. State your source. That's not going to happen. It'll never happen. Any journalist worth his salt ain't naming the sources. So let's get that out the way first. Number two. Did y'all know that Jaylen Brown's mama came up to me to give me a hug in Dallas? The day that they got annihilated in Dallas, they were down by 48 points. And they lost that game. They got shellacked before winning game 5. This is game 4. Mama came up to me. Do you know who came up to me hours later that evening after Mama had come up to me to give me a big hug? Mama Jaylen Brown's mama. You know who came up to me? You know, grandma. Now, I know he had a death in the family that he alluded to, and God bless her wonderful soul. And what have you. That's who was introduced to me by his brother, by the way. Do you know what they said? They thanked me. You know why they thanked me? Because they got the message. I have no problem with Jaylen Brown. I got nothing but love for Jaylen Brown. A black dude, highly intelligent, great player, incredible role model, don't get in any trouble. His head is on right, disciplined, focused, tenacious, successful, wealthy now with his new $304 million contract from last summer. And oh, by the way, he's a champion. Where the endorsement deals? Why have I been seeing Jason Tatum in every damn commercial? How can we see all of these teammates from AD and LeBron to, you know, PG and Kawhi to Steph and Clay, and the list goes on and on? Why do we see all of these brothers with marketing opportunities, but we don't see the same for Tatum with Brown? I wasn't calling out Brown like Brown did something wrong. I was highlighting the fact that he's all the things you should want in a role model who's an athlete. And Madison Avenue ain't giving him enough shine and attention. And asking the question, why is that? That's all I was doing. Because that's how you provoke conversation. By talking about the absence of obvious nuggets that should be inserted and implemented into a conversation. That's how you do it. And the reality is that when it came to Jaylen Brown, that wasn't happening. So, name your source, name your source. Hell no. You ain't getting it. But know that people out there saying that. But his family saw the handwriting on the wall and they appreciated why I highlighted it. I highlighted it because this conscientious brother who's on the front lines during the whole social justice movement, who's been a conscientious observer, who talked about taking his money and contributing to the Boston community, to the impoverished and desolate and disenfranchised in their surrounding areas and beyond, who shined a spotlight on it and had the press conference to announce his new signing in that locale. What this brother is doing, what he's aiming to do, is special. Why should I have a problem with that? Why should anybody have a problem with that? If you're Jaylen Brown and you are watching, could you please do me a favor and go back and listen to what I said? And truly inhale and dissect what I was saying? I wasn't saying they were right. I was saying they were wrong, but you needed to be aware of the fact that some people are out there saying this about you. Don't you want to know where the bodies lie? Don't you want to know what's being said? Don't you want to know what specifically to debunk? If you don't know what you're targeting, you're swinging at air. And I happen to believe that's counterproductive. That's all I did. Nothing more, nothing less. So, whereas I could apologize to Podcast P, Paul George himself, for saying what I said about Kawhi Leonard while on that set, while Paul George was on that set, I owe Jaylen Brown no apology. I owe nobody an apology for what I said about Jaylen Brown, because I am right. He deserves to be liked. He deserves to be respected and revered. He deserves the shine that he received when he got the MVP award. And you know, last point I'll make, Jaylen Brown, and I'm speaking directly to you, Jaylen Brown. Why you cover your face and look like you were damn near ready to cry when they named you NBA Finals MVP? You know why? Because you were just as shocked as a lot of people were. Because you never thought they'd give it to you. You know why? Because the respect that you have earned, that you so richly deserved, is what you have been denied for years, which only accentuates and illuminates the original freaking point I was making. One day, y'all will learn to listen to what I'm saying instead of just fretting and hating over who's saying it. Listen to the content and the substance of what I'm breaking down to you. And stop blocking your ears.